Today's video is about a major tokusatsu crossover. First, I want to talk about another one real quick. Over in Japan, there's been a lot of releases of Godzilla, Neon Genesis, Evangelion merchandise. You'll see things like this on eBay over here in the States, but often way too much. But the goodies I'm going to show you right now I bought through Buyee.jp. Like these Rei and Asuka statues holding their little Godzillas. Rei likes gray, but Asuka likes a little more color in her life. Check out these Kiru/Eva units. This is cool. This is a Mechagodzilla with Evangelion paint schemes. Eva Unit 01 and 02. What will your treasure be? Sign up for a Buyee account using the link below. I've always loved the idea of a universe where all fiction exists together. The idea that somewhere, my favorite characters can interact, even if they're from different major companies. I will admit, Hollywood is making me tired of this idea really fast. But in the early 1990s, Banpresto kicked off a shared tokusatsu multiverse that lives still as of this video. This mega franchise consists of the biggest pop culture icons from Japan, teaming up regularly, usually in super deformed character sprites. And this giant series of video games is known as the Compati Hero series. In the early 1990s, Banpresto would start publishing games that crossed over their licenses. And these games would span all sorts of genres: sports, beat-em-ups, side-scrollers. Most of these games would star Ultraman, Gundam, and Kamen Rider as the main trio, but other franchises would appear as well. We've already talked about the Toho monsters appearing in Battle Soccer and Battle Baseball. Banpresto would even introduce their own original characters, the most notable of this series being Fighter Roar. Today, I'm going to show you a nice chunk of Compati Hero games we haven't gone over yet, focusing on the Super Famicom and Game Boy. And along the way, I'll tell you which ones are worth checking out, and which ones you can't play without a translation patch or knowing Japanese, since all of these games are Japanese exclusives. But I think you'll find no matter what kind of game you like, there's a Compati Hero version of that game for you. For example, I love 16-bit RPGs, and look! Hero Chronicle Project Olympus, a 1992 Compati Hero role-playing game. If you don't know Japanese, the good news is there is an English patch available for this game. Look at this intro, it's like Super Nintendo Game of Thrones. The story in this game is gonna blow your mind, because it's basically Kingdom Hearts. Each Toku property lives in a separate world that more or less revolves around that hero. I can't wait for Ultra 7 to give a speech about the power of friendship. Wow, I'm playing as Amuro. This is one of the earliest Compati games to bring the human characters into the story. So you know how there are critically acclaimed RPGs like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy IV? Well, in order for those games to be considered great, they must be measured against games that are just good. And here we are. This game feels like a fan-made 16-bit RPG, but it was made like this year, via some pre-made RPG building software. It's so basic. No extra touches, no going the extra mile. Look, it's not a big deal, but I could just run over people's pets and hop into any bed I want. I like that everyone you talk to only says one statement, so that saves me some time on double tapping every conversation. But that is a hard habit to break. This is one of those RPGs where you get the whole party at once. So Bright Noah, he's putting together a team. He calls them Zeus, and it has one hero from each of the worlds. So that's Gundam, Kamen Rider, and Ultra. And this is interesting, the fourth character is a Banpresto original, Gilliam Yeager, a mecha pilot you'll see way more often in the Super Robot Wars spin-off. You even have a secret base where Haro 9000 is a supercomputer who gives you your missions I want it! I want this cartoon series! Give it to me! The Compati heroes change forms for their first fight. It's everything you expect in a basic RPG fight, no more, no less. But this isn't all to deter you from checking this game out. It's totally worth it if you like RPGs and these characters. What about a 2D fighting game? We're in the 1990s, so there's gotta be a Compati Hero 2D fighting game, right? Sure! On Game Boy! It's Versus Hero, Road to King Fight. No understanding of any language necessary here. Geez, I didn't need to fill in every single pixel. Where the hell am I? Yeah, a lot of tossing. Some talk to the hand business. I said talk to the hand! This background is much better on the eyes. With all the moves available to you, I've found that I can win just by kicking and punching the air and letting the opponent walk into me. If they get hurt, it's their own damn fault. Alright, let's fight Kamen Rider. Oh, hey, back off, man. Wait a minute, slow down, man. What the slow down, man. What are you doing, man? Where'd he get that motorcycle? Kamen Rider kicked my ass. Put it on a t-shirt. Game Boy's also got a pretty decent side-scroller, Tekkyu Fight, the Great Battle Gaiden. This one absolutely feels like a great battle game, and a decent one too. In this game, you can switch between the Compati heroes, and you each have sort of a magic bag of various supplies you can use to figure out how to proceed. Plus, you have all these maces and whatnot. Honest to God, this feels like it was another property first, and they just changed the sprites to add the Compati heroes. But it's good, it's very intuitive, and this one is absolutely worth checking out. I guess its sequel went to Super Famicom. First, you pick your hero. Look at these poses my Ultraman does. Put up your dukes! I said put up your dukes! Big slap attack is also back. So yeah, this kind of plays out like a side-scroller here. You got some hazards, some platforming. Look at this, I go into this doorway, and I'm thrust into an entirely different game! Ultraman stuffing his fucking face, and I gotta learn to play this game before he has a heart attack. And that's the other half of this whole game. Mini-games. Mini-games of all different types and genres, with no true connection to these characters. At least that I saw. I only played a few levels. The closest thing I can think of to compare the Great Battle Gaiden 2 to is fucking Bart's Nightmare. Yeah, it's that kind of game. Hey, don't go anywhere. YouTube's gonna play a little commercial now. Another Compati Hero RPG came to the Super Famicom in 1994, Gaia Saver. I haven't found a translation patch for this one during my quick search. But like the first one, this game is quite easy and intuitive. Whoa, white base! I remember it being a bit bigger though, yaggity schmaggity. Battles take on a slightly different perspective as the previous RPG, and offer some cool sprite art. What are these guys doing? What, are they gonna shoot me with their pointer finger guns? It's so basic I guessed it. I can probably guess through this entire game, but where's the fun in that? Gaia Saver, you basic! Seriously though, I would absolutely play this game if I had a translation patch. Oh, what's next? Battle Soccer 2! Look, I did a whole video on Battle Soccer 1. This feels the same, but without Godzilla and the Toho monsters. If there are two versions of a thing that sucks, but one version has Godzilla and King Ghidorah, do you even want to hear about the second version? I'm sure this has some new features somewhere, but virtually everything I said about the first game, I feel again playing this one. I guess this one's a little less sluggish, runs a little faster and smoother. I don't know. Listen, pachinko is big in Japan. So like pinball games or slot machines, pachinko video games are made pretty regularly. So let's throw some Compati heroes into the mix. This is a cool two-player pachinko game, but man, The rounds are long. Long rounds means this music plays, and plays, and plays. And after half a round, I've fallen into a deep haze, my brain half asleep and half awake on autopilot, searching for something. Is that what I think it is? Oh, it's just a turning wheel. Ugh, close call. It looks like Jar Jar Binks is trying to swallow a television. I like these sprites here. I always like the sprites in these games. I like how these sprites here represent your wins against your opponent. This game is absolutely playable, but I hope you enjoy Pachinko. Me, not so much, but I'll be glad to move on to... This time, instead of a constant screen presence, the game cuts to animations when the characters take a hit. That's probably for the best. These games can last a lifetime. Super Iron Ball fight on the Super Famicom. Now we're back to playing with balls, chains, and maces. This is one of them puzzly Bomberman puzzle men. I don't enjoy it much. The fact that my enemies don't go backward when I hit them with my mace is really amping up my anxiety. I miscalculate a lot of jumps, too. Another 2D fighting game at last. Sure, it's for Game Boy, but it's 1995 now, you know? The trend is really full swing by now, and they know what to do. Like, take these amazing Toku heroes and stick them in these Dr. Robotnik-type machines. What now? And that's how you get Battle Crusher. One thing I like about this game is how their pods are tailored to their characters. And you get to see some weird stuff like Gamora piloting a King Joe. And it's a 2-player game, which is nice. Yeah, alright, this one's worth checking out, but it's not gonna scratch any fighting game itches for you. 1995 also gave us Battle Pinball. Now we're talking. I love pinball, and I dig pinball video games too. Except the ones that include Sonic the Hedgehog. This game is less integrative than the other games. The IPs feel more segregated here, as each one has their own pinball machine themed only to them. So this game feels like a pinball sample platter, and that's fine, it plays well enough. There are 4 pinball games here. You get the Ultraman themed one, which I think is my favorite. And check out this underwater effect for the Fighter Roar level. That's pretty cool. There's a Kamen Rider level. And of course, the Gundam level. Very intuitive game, very easy to pick up and play no matter your language. On to the next game. Well, this looks familiar. It's the first Mario Kart! Except it's these Compati clowns again. If you like 16-bit games that look like this, you might want to check out Battle Racers. And then it stopped. Until 1999 with Great Battle Pocket on Game Boy Color. Whatever it is, if you don't know Japanese, you can't play this one without a translation. I love these games. Look, man, I don't know how many times I could say this. These games are entry level. They're harmless. They're basic. They're games you've played already, but now with new skins riding on the combined popularity of all these properties. And fuck me, I love it. I can't get enough of it. I wish it would come back. I wish they'd put a Master Collection out on a Nintendo Switch or Give us a Toku Smash type game with these guys. Between a few videos, I've now covered all of the early Nintendo-related Compati Hero games, except for one more subseries. And that is Battle Dodgeball, but that one's gonna get its own video one day. Compati games would later show up on other Nintendo systems like 3DS and GameCube, but I can assure you that we just covered the franchise's most productive decade. Thank you all for indulging me on covering one of my favorite corners of Toku culture, LOL. Did I really just fucking script LOL?